And for me, it's like I just really, really, really again felt even more in love with Lafayette because it was like, okay, I can do a whole lot of talking. I'm gonna show up.
The balls this man must have.
Huge corns. You need both hands, friend. You need both hands. Yes. Okay, they hanging low. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us again. Hi there, Fangbangers.
Hey.
So yes, here we are again with our amazing shenanigans. We're here for episodes 11 and 12 of True Blood Season 1. First episode entitled "To Love Is to Bury," and our second episode will be "You'll Be the Death of Me." Let's get into it, Fangbanger Nation.
Fangbanger Nation, I love it.
Yes, it has a nice little ring to it, right?
Yeah.
So, episode 11. When we get into episode 11, Bill is building a vampire. By no choice of his own. Okay, we kind of at this point know Bill's backstory, how he was made, and like Jermaine mentioned before, everybody's story with being made is kind of raggedy. Bill's is no different. So he is not happy about having to build a vampire as a punishment for his crimes. What are your thoughts?
So I actually want to see it. I didn't give a damn what he thought. Give me a vampire. Give me a vampire. That's all I cared about. I didn't care who it was. Just give it to me.
Oh my goodness. And the young lady, and I didn't mean young lady, 17 years old, right? And when we get into it a bit later, it is hilarious. It is so hilarious. I really enjoyed these couple of episodes with Bill. I don't think I've enjoyed watching Bill so much as I did in these couple of episodes, just seeing him squirm because she's a newborn. But she's not only a newborn, she's a newborn and she's 17 years old. So Bill has this child that's
annoying as fuck. Can I say that?
So annoying. And she is working him out. And I was here for every second of it because everything that you could think of, I mean, you don't understand, you don't get it. Like, you name it.
He was trying to be so patient. And everybody around him was handling her the way she should be handled, but he just didn't want to do it. Like, come on, it's kind of like you're a first-time parent. You don't know what to do. You don't want to mess up the child. But sometimes you just got to be like, look.
And he tried to be so just logical with her. And, well, Jessica, this is the way we're going to do this. And she is just very robotic. And she is not having it. To the point that he makes a deal with Eric, like, please, take her off my hand.
What did you say? You're the worst vampire ever.
The worst maker. You're the worst maker ever. Jessica gives it to him. And I am just so amused. Like, I don't think I've ever thought that Bill was humorous, but the way in which he tried to discipline or whatever was funny. It was very funny. It's like, okay, this girl is brand new as a vampire and she's 17. And he's thinking, okay, it would just be better if he didn't make her at all. He kind of wants to snap her neck or whatever and just kill her, period, or whatever, not want to let her transition. But Pam is there to regulate and make sure that the process goes through. And when it does, he's like, oh my God, I took so much from her or whatever. And then she's like, no more rules, no more mama. No, she's happy. She is happy to be a vampire. So all of that I just thought was extremely humorous with that entire dynamic with Jessica and with Bill.
We've got questions and we know you have answers, so make love to our senses in the comments. Drop them down below.
You know, it kind of reminded me, it's almost as if Bill is Louis and Jessica is Lestat.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Well, he wants so badly to do right. He does. And she wants to experience all the shenanigans. Like, hey, even when Eric dumps her back off, I want to go back to Fantasia. Like, she is just acting up. She wants to get into all of the debauchery. She is very well aware of what a vampire does, and is capable of, and she wants to experience everything. Bill is trying to keep her in this rigid lifestyle. And like you said, she is much like Lestat. Like, no, I don't want to drink True Blood. I want to, drink from the vein. Like, what?
Yeah, he was sucking the fun out of it for her. And for a 17-year-old, she needs to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that was the part that he just didn't get. He didn't understand.
And then not just a 17-year-old young lady. Mm-hmm. There, it's just so layered. Not that it would have been easy for a 17-year-old young man, but oh my goodness.
Wait a minute. All of a sudden, something came to my mind. So, Claudia. Is it Claudia?
Yes.
From okay. So, she said, what was it? She was talking about like the first time that she had sex, or every time that she had sex, will it like snap back or whatever?
Yes, the nightmare grows back.
Jessica wouldn't mind that at all.
Just like, ooh. I like Jessica as a newborn vampire. I did. She did annoy the crap out of you, but you love to watch Bill squirm. It was just good. It was just really, really good. And then later on, watch Sookie trying to relate to her. Like, it was just I think this was a good move for the storyline to have him make that vampire. It was really, really good.
Yeah. Entertaining.
So, moving on from Father Bill, literally Father Bill now. Sookie Stackhouse. And I gotta say it with the country accent every time. Sookie Stackhouse. She is being comforted by Sam. in Bill's absence at this point while he's kind of getting acquainted with his newborn. And they kind of link up and go searching for answers to try to figure out who Sookie's attacker is. Now, this episode kind of was near and dear to me because they mentioned I-49 and Bucky.
You got that, huh? You got that.
I caught that. I-49 and Bucky. I was like, okay.
And Bucky on the map.
Yeah, it's on the map. Okay, in this major show. So I was like, all right, I'm listening. But when she gets out there looking for answers, she runs into this bigot. She runs into a bigot that she's looking for help from. So Sookie decides that she's gonna use her power. She's gonna use her power, and she flexes.
Yeah, that was good. I loved it. I love that scene.
I was like, okay, she put him in his place. So I was here for it. Again, of course, Bill and Sookie aren't my favorite characters in this show, but these couple of episodes, I was like, I did not mind watching them.
What did she say? She said, okay, I'll go to the library. I'll get your phone number. I'll call your wife, and I'll tell her about whatever the woman's name is. Gotcha.
How you feel? I can't send it to you, but I can send it to the Baltimore Police Department. That's all I asked. No problem. I was like, okay, Sookie.
And I liked Sam in that scene. He just, okay, I'm gonna just go with it. I'm gonna go with the flow. You got this. I like this.
Yes. It was so good. So moving on from our lovely Sookie and Stackhouse in this moment, Tara, our girl Tara, in this episode, when we end, I think it was episode 10, she has gotten into this wreck or whatever. So when we pick up with 11, she has...
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Okay, so she got into a wreck. She got into a wreck because she saw a naked woman right next to a hog on the side of the road. Like, can you imagine? Number one, she's drunk as fuck. She's drunk. You see a naked woman, ooh, you veer off. I mean, who would?
Look, a naked woman in a hog, cracklings and coochie. And if you know, you know.
Ooh, it's okay. It's salty.
Like, whoa, what is happening in Baltimore?
I'm sorry, that was nasty. I shouldn't have said that.
You say what you say. So yeah, it's like, whoa, how can I stay between the lines? This is weird. This is out of place or whatever. So she ends up taking this sobriety test. So what I found interesting in this scene with her and I think Kenya was the cop's name is you get that small town vibe, right? Tara May, she's talking to her. It's very familiar. Anywhere else, there's not a lot of questions that's going to be asked. You get thrown in the back of the police car from the beginning, and that's going to be it. But, I thought that was interesting, like the whole small town vibe, and you get stopped by a police officer, and she happens to look like you, what that kind of looks like. So I thought that scene was very, very interesting. So, yeah.
Even the fact that, like, we're conditioned to say officer, yes, ma'am, all that other stuff. But no, she was just like, what is it? She said Kenya. She said Kenya.
She called her name, not Officer Kenya, just Kenya.
Then she called her sister. And then the police officer said, you reminded me of your mama.
Which was extremely offensive to Tara.
Loved it.
But so we've covered Sookie, we've covered Bill, talked a little bit about Tara, our favorite dumbass Stackhouse, Jason. Oh my goodness. So in this episode, Jason and Amy with Vampire Eddie, I was unhappy. I didn't like the way things went down with Vampire Eddie.
You know, his death?
Yes.
Okay.
He was boring as hell, of course, but he wasn't bothering nobody. For me, Amy, I agree with Eddie. Is a psychopath, right? She's an absolute psychopath. So Jason kind of took a liking to him. So I didn't care for how things went down with that.
So I was struck with his particular character. So you got Bill, he's for all intents and purposes, he's a protagonist, quote unquote, kind of sort of. Because he's the type of vampire who doesn't really want to kill, right? Asks for permission before he takes someone's blood. That type. Then we meet other vampires who don't give a damn. They'll do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it, when they want to do it, right? I'm assuming that Eddie was supposed to like soften up the vampires, let us see like a different side of being a vampire. So the fact that Jason, someone that we love to laugh at, but we like Jason. He's good to laugh at, but the fact that Jason, who started off being someone who didn't like vampires, can like Eddie, that's a good progression, not only for Jason as a character, but also for us as viewers of the show.
I agree, because he, despite Amy's manipulation, he still has a soft spot for Eddie. Like, he does little things for him behind Amy's back, but ultimately, like, Amy is just extremely manipulative and psychotic. And she kills poor Eddie, and Jason is infuriated. He really is, and that causes a bit of a rift between the two of them. But still not enough for my liking. I just feel like he should have just left her alone, period. Because at this point, Jason is stupid. But now you're getting into murder and all kinds of things. Like, you got kidnapping. Like, Amy was just doing a lot.
The most. And then you said she's manipulating him. When Jason comes back after work, I'm assuming he got some drinks. I don't know. She then, I'm sorry. Do you want to talk about it or you want to wait?
No, it's fine.
So she says, she cooks dinner. She has, candlelight all over the place. And he's just like, I didn't know. I didn't want to come home because I didn't think that you would be here. I don't know if he was lying or not, but that's what he said. And then she was just like, I love you. But I believe in symmetry. So I got this little, taste of blood.
Because he flipped out on her like, no. After what you did to Eddie, I'm done with V. I'm done with all of this. Get all of this out of my house. And if you don't like it, you can go too.
Mm-hmm.
And that raggedy wench. Just like you said, I got this little taste left. Are you gonna make me go by myself? And I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. But she got a 2-bit change. Scene. Got a 2-bit change.
So they take the V. Mm-hmm. They experience.
Yes.
And then ooh.
Good night, Amy. And I do mean a perpetual good night. Okay, lights out. That's it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So Amy is attacked while Amy and Jason are on a V trip. And he doesn't realize it until he wakes up, thinks he's murdered her. He's even to the point where he thinks he's a serial killer and just not remembering it.
Mm-hmm.
But a little bit more about that later. Our good friend, Lafayette. And that politician.
No, it's the scene, though. It's the scene. We see him. Well, I'm thinking it's Tara. Doing her nails. But how could she be doing her nails because she in jail?
Can't, because she had her first little DWI, acting like Lady Mae. So yes, you're right. The whole scene is just, I'm good for the cinematography, all of it. Lafayette being Lafayette. But
what do you call the stuff you put between your toes? He had that. He had the red nail polish, everything. He was ready.
Watching the good news and excited, like his politician friend is gonna be, campaigning, and he's gonna have a good platform, all of these things, and only for this raggedy man to get up there and sound like a bigot and speak out against vampire rights and against homosexuals. Sir, hold on, wait a minute, run it back. You were just over here.
That was the confusing thing. It's like, on one hand, it's almost as if Lafayette doesn't really care for vampires, but on the flip side, it's kind of like, I think Lafayette was the type of character where he saw the injustice. It didn't matter, like, I might not fool with you, but I see the injustice of it because it's so similar to my reality.
Bingo. Yes. And that's I don't want us to be an hour and a half talking about Lafayette because we can, but that's the beauty of this character. He's so multi-layered.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's flamboyant and he has all of these shenanigans going on, but he's witty, he's wise. He has all of these things going on. And it gets more into the depth of the character because my boy, okay, after you see this, okay, don't worry, I'm going to show you. My boy comes down there in a suit. Suited and booted. Okay, to where this good old politician could have peed on himself. And I thought it was so beautiful and so funny because it was just like, okay, I see you, I know you, and did you think I was just gonna let you get away with it? I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna have some mental ping pong with your ass. So you can know.
Drove up to Monroe to do it.
All the way to the 318 to let you know what it is and what it ain't. And for me, it's like, I just really, 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 again, felt even more in love with Lafayette because it was like, okay, I can do a whole lot of talking. I'm gonna show up.
The balls this man must have.
Huge corn. You need both hands, friend. You need both hands. Yes. Okay, they hanging low. I'm gonna put some gas in my car, and let me be clear. I like painting my nails. I like putting on eyeshadow, lipstick, and all that great stuff. But please don't get it twisted. I can still hang a suit just as well as I can sashay through my living room in a crop top. Don't play with me. I'm coming to you.
And look, color coordinated too. I was like, look at him. Showing his hair. Look at him. Little bald head.
Good. Okay, I was here for it. So for me, it's like, okay, Lafayette, I'm gonna pull your cord. I am gonna pull your cord. And I was here for it. So again, we love, fellow fangbangers, we love Lafayette out here in these streets. We love him just like we love Interview with the Vampire.
Yes.
We gonna always go there. Okay. But moving right along through episode 11, Tara and her mom. After Tara actually goes to jail, Lady Mae, how she responds to Tara being put in jail with allegedly being intoxicated. I was kind of disappointed.
What do you mean? Why so?
I was kind of disappointed because for me, now, I'm not gonna get in depth into things and make it about myself. I'm very spiritual, so there's that. But then you have this certain group of people that are holier than thou, found a certain way. So I didn't appreciate the way that Tara's mom responded to her in her time of need, because Tara, even though she's rough around the edges, she's tortured, she's all these things, she has consistently supported her mother through her childhood up to adulthood. And the one time she leans on Letty Mae, she lets her down. She brings in, like this whole religious thing, and I'm going to pray for you, and you got a demon in you, but I'm going to let you sit right here. Wait a minute, ma'am. I don't clean your vomit. You have left me without. Have put me, in a situation to where I'm leaning on this white family that doesn't look like me. Don't look at me for real, to where they're more family to me than you could ever be. And you have the nerve.
I done spent money on you. I've bailed you out several times.
Yes.
And you can't do this one thing for me this one time. I've been the mother. You've been the child. I've been taking care of you.
It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. So wasn't here for that. Didn't appreciate how her mother treated her. But to me, it left room for a Marianne to step in and be able to even access Tara because of her mother's negligence and horrible decisions. Even in her sobriety, the horrible decisions. Didn't appreciate it. It's like, dang, Lady Mae, you could stay drunk for all of that. You probably would have been more helpful. And speaking of helpful, we're going to take a moment to just pause and say thank you for those of you who have left us comments. We love the comments. We have some fellow fangbangers in the comments, and we appreciate it. So whenever you see fit, stop by, leave us a comment. Let us know what you are thinking. We love your feedback. Yes.
Specifically, we wanted to thank a few people. We wanted to thank Talk That Stuff. Also, Miss Ginger Jordan. Thank you, Miss Ginger Jordan. Neo Emerson. Thank you so very much for the comments. They were funny, enlightening, and keep them coming. We love them.
Yes. Come on, Fang Bang Nation. Let's go.
I like that. Fang Bangers.
Yes.
Fang Bangers.
One of these days, we're going to get in here while we cover this show, and Elia is going to pop out with the fangs, Already flamboyant. I'm going to have to give me some fangs.
I think that might be copyrighted, but how about Fang Bang Nation?
Fang Bang Nation?
Yeah, Fang Bang Nation.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get arrested. Or do I? We'll see.
Have you ever been handcuffed?
Several times. Probably going to get handcuffed a little bit later. But yeah, absolutely. Got some at the Mardi Gras. Got some handcuffs at the Mardi Gras. True story. Shout out to Spanish Town Parade in Baton Rouge. That was my first time attending, because typically Elio does not do the parades.
Your first time? Really?
Yes, I don't like parades. Of course, I've done Mardi Gras. I've been, Louisiana my whole life, but this is my first time doing the Spanish Town Parade, and I caught some handcuffs among some other things, but we'll talk about that after.
Okay, all right.
So yes, wasn't feeling Lady Mae in all of this. So I really felt kind of bad for Tara in this episode, and I feel like Lady Mae is part to blame for Marianne slipping into Tara's life.
Yeah, I guess would Tara have clung to her so much if Lady Mae hadn't, rid herself of her demon, or was it so that she had to have let her demon go in order for Tara to kind of let her guard down? I don't know if that was clear.
No, it was clear. I got that. I was just thinking more so, like just a little bit later, kind of more surface level than what you just said. Like, had Lady Mae just bailed her out, sober or not, the Marianne would not have had that access. But that's a little bit more surface level.
Okay. So did we talk about, I think we did, the fact that Jason thinks that he killed Amy?
Yes. We kind of touched on that. Didn't go as deep into it because they were on their beat trip. But I will say, circling back to Father Bill for just a second, if we can, him storming in and trying to fight Sam. Because Sam and Snooki got a little close. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah,
you can't fight for nothing else, but you're going to fight for that. You're going to fight Sam of all people. You ain't going to fight another vampire, but you're going to fight Sam.
Like, just let's lay off of Sam. Sam is a stand-up guy. We like Sam.
And you the one that asked the man. You knew what was going to happen. If they had killed you, Bill, what you think Sam was gonna do? You knew it. You knew it.
Mister, he ain't have to steal your girl. You told him to watch her. You asked for his help.
In that situation, all he needed to do was walk in and say, "I'm back." That's all he needed to do.
But you coming in like, "Oh, you too close to my girl. You flipping, acting a fool. You don't know what I had to do to get back to you. I never asked you to leave."
Shit made me mad.
But so Snooki and Sam in this episode, as we know, went to do some research to try to find out if they can figure out who Snooki's attacker is. And after Snooki pretty much blackmailed the cop and Bunky, they actually get us a fax to Bon Ton of a picture of someone who is the brother of a lady that was attacked and killed, and it is a picture of someone named Drew. At the end of this episode, and when we see the picture of Drew, who do we find that it is?
So in this particular episode, in the facts, we see who he is. Okay. But at this point, I kind of already knew. I knew.
Really?
Yeah. The first time that I saw it, I knew it was him. I
didn't. I guess I was asleep on defense a bit. I did not suspect him. Well, I will say toward the end. Before the facts, yes. But like earlier on, no. At this point, we know who the killer is, and with that facts at the end of that episode, and scene, it just ends. I'm like, oh my gosh! But did we say the person's name yet? We didn't. We just said Drew. And well, if you've seen it, you know who Drew is. And as the things come out a little bit later, it's like he went through quite a few lengths to pretend to be somebody else. You remember?
He learned a Cajun accent.
Whole Cajun dialect.
Yeah. But how many parishes away was he? Because it made it seem like it was just like one parish away or something.
I kind of got the same thing because they got there so easily. So I don't think he was that many parishes off. But I mean, you as well as I know, with the 64 parishes we have here, the dialects aren't the same.
No, not at all.
You could be 70 miles away and your dialect be completely different.
Completely.
So which is why with True Blood, initially I was a little annoyed because I was like, what is this accent? What is this? What is happening? This is not an accurate representation, but whatever. We know we do not all sound the same, even if you 45 minutes away.
From Ville Platte to Opelousas, there's a difference. There's a significant difference.
And that's close.
And that's like 10, 15 minutes away.
So I like to think that I don't have an accent until but you
don't have a what?
I don't have an accent. That's my purpose. But you get me at a crawfish ball.
Yeah, around your family. Go back home, that accent come back quick.
It's so thick. It is so thick with like cornbread with an extra egg, like thick. Real thick. So.
Oh, I love stew. For some reason, you said extra thick, and I thought stew.
The stew and the sauce.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know you love a good sauce.
Love it. And nobody knows what the sauce is. That's why I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not on our thing banging. We're gonna have to get in here and just get on some real Southern Cajun, just food. Okay.
And look, and nobody in New Orleans know about it. So that's how you know. New Orleans don't know nothing about real cooking.
Sauce. Oh no, it's different. It's way different. It's levels to this. Okay. All right. So episode 12, entitled "You'll Be the Death of Me." You'll be the death of me. So in this episode, we have our dear Sookie Stackhouse, our favorite telepath that's not all that intelligent, going to visit her even less intelligent brother in the slaughter. Hey.
This fucking family.
Okay.
Stackhouse. It makes me want to do like research on the name Stackhouse. Like, what does Stackhouse really mean?
I mean, y'all stacking imbeciles. It's something. But I can guarantee you, you're not stacking intelligence. But at any rate, she goes and visits her idiot brother, our favorite attractive jock, who has confessed to being a murderer, even though he doesn't remember killing these women. He feels like, hey, because I'm so in love with Amy, she ended up dying. While I'm right there with her, it must be me. I must be the killer. So he is sitting in jail, and Andy Belfer is just happy. Too happy to have him locked up and all of these things, But Jason's feeling like, hey, at least I can't hurt anybody else. I would rather be locked up, which at this point you kind of feel bad for him because it's like, you really are an imbecile. You really don't know any better. You confessed to a murder. You don't have a lawyer. None of these things, just, hey, lock me up. But to be fair, he is mourning the death of the psychopath Amy, who to me pretty much kind of earned what happened to her, which I hate to say, but it is what it is. She did some awful things. So she goes to visit her brother in jail, and Renee is there. Renee is there visiting Jason, and Jason is like, he's getting rid of all the things in his estate, the $30 he has to his name, whatever it is. He is, oh, hey, Renee, you can have my truck. This is for you.
And by the way, Renee is talking like, oh no, Jason, they got to know you didn't do it, man. You're going to be fine. You ain't got to give me this.
He is full of crap, to say the least. Like, oh my goodness. And Sookie, she's just like right there, and just if she just thinks or just allows the thoughts to come in, she could hear what Renee is thinking, but she doesn't. She's more focused on her brother. And I'm like, at this point, this is just good writing. This is just so good. Like, okay, y'all letting this happen. But whatever, because like he's right freaking there. Oh, he needs to just go down for this. But Renee didn't take any time making sure he drives Jason's truck after he wheels it to him since he's made this horrible confession. as we move on, Tara actually leaves with Marianne from the jail. She goes out, as we know, like we mentioned in episode 11. Lady Mae let her down. Let her down. So she's with Marianne, and Marianne is in this amazing home. And Tara starts to kind of settle in. Like, maybe I can just breathe for a bit. What are your thoughts on Tara and Marianne's interaction?
Well, less so about their interaction. I don't think at this point. I don't think that Tara like really, truly, 100% trusts her. I think, this is a good situation. However, when old boy walks in, that's like, maybe I can't stay. Eggs.
Oh, look, I love eggs from my head down to my legs. All right, hold on 1 minute.
But you know what? For some reason, when I first saw this all those years ago, he was much more attractive. Now he's just like, oh, okay, all right. But back then, he was scrumptious. He was like, oh, Jesus. And he was on what was it? Desperate Housewives. He was on Desperate Housewives, and they got rid of him because he was caught smoking weed or whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Back then, weed was not like a good thing. But today it would be like, oh well, who cares? But
I thought he was just very, very yummy, very fit. Like,
speaking of very young and yummy and very fit.
Oh, Father. Oh, how you like your eggs scrambled? You like eggs Benedict? How you like your eggs?
Sunny side up.
Do you hear me? Scrambled, boiled, fried. Oh.
I'm sorry, inside joke.
Speaking of inside. All right. Jason Statham. Bill is busy. All right. Oh, child. Oh my God. So yeah, she sees eggs. He's another one of Marianne's wards. He's very strong, delicious, and all this other stuff. So yeah, Tara decides to stick around for a while. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Jason is basically getting propositioned to become part of a cult. When I saw the name, what was it? The Fellowship of the Sun.
Yeah, I think that's right. Mm-hmm.
I think the name of it was the Fellowship of the Sun. Mm-hmm. I was like, you are the perfect prime candidate for a cult.
But it was the perfect title was to say, hey, we're daywalkers. We're not vampires. Makes sense.
I was like, okay, so they are coming to his rescue as far as legal aid and everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like Jason, and he's just like, okay, they give him some read material. Like, all right, well, I'm gonna look at it in my leisure. So I'm like, oh my. Poor Jason. Jason is gonna be in a cult. Oh gosh. So Satan in a Sunday hat. Let's deal with that. Satan in a Sunday hat from Lady Mae. I need your input.
So is this the scene where Tara runs into? That's a question because at this point the episodes are like running together. This is a scene where Tara runs into her mom. Her mom is walking with someone else from church, and what was the fight over? I can't remember what the fight was over. What was the fight about?
Which fight?
Not fight, but the back and forth.
Oh, probably because her mom is continuing to try to push this religious rhetoric on her.
Okay.
And then and trying to basically say, I made the right decision or whatever because you have a demon or whatever, yada yada yada, and that's why I did whatever. And
I guess for me, the whole scene, it was a necessary scene. Tara confronting her mom. That was going to happen sooner or later. But it also sets some other things up. It kind of pushes Tara away from her mom. It solidifies the idea that she shouldn't be around her mom. Her mom is going down a path that she thinks is kind of crazy. I don't necessarily think that Tara doesn't support the church. I think she doesn't support her mom in what she's doing. Her mom is just going.
She's a fanatic.
Yeah. She's a fanatic. And the flip was like that. It's like, who are you? Like, I've never known this woman ever. And you coming at me, quick, fast. Like, no, like, give it a year. You know what I'm saying? But no, this is like 2 days, and it's like, nah, this is not what's up. But yeah, that's kind of like it wasn't like it was a funny scene. It was a funny scene, especially when Tara walked off and the two of them started talking, and I forgot exactly what they said. But I remember they said something that was kind of funny. They kind of made me laugh. Do you remember that?
I know Marianne kind of comes from her mom in the conversation. I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but she comes from her mom like, oh, nice to meet you, but it's a backhanded nice to meet you. Like, oh, it's nice to meet the person that would turn their back on their daughter in an hour of need.
Oh, you're talking about after she's been bailed out of jail.
Yes.
Oh, I kind of jumped. Okay, my bad.
No worries.
Yeah.
But so this, huh?
My bad. I was in the wrong spot.
No, it's okay. So in this episode, ultimately, Suki does figure out who her attacker is after Renee offers her a ride home in her brother's truck. And Renee attacks her. So where things get really hilarious for me is when she's really in trouble. And Bill, he wakes up. It's broad daylight. He decides he's going to come to the rescue.
No, let me tell you. To me, the moment that things were like kind of crazy. Okay, first of all, so he took the shells out of the shotgun. Okay, I get that. But you have a whole shotgun, and this man is about your size. Well, in terms of height. Swing the shotgun, hit the man. You know what I'm saying? Like you like don't throw it away. She threw it away as soon as she got outside. That's the stupidest shit. No, you need a weapon. That's the closest thing that you got a weapon until you find an actual weapon. Keep it. She threw it in the bush.
She hit him, dropped the gun, kept running. No, you probably should have kept hitting him and still kept the gun. So I agree with you. That was a little silly. But for me, it was more so Bill. What were you gonna do in daylight? You'd have turned into a char grilled oyster trying to get the Suki. Sam figures out the smell, so he's on his way to the rescue. So that whole scene was quite a bit to watch. It was good, but it was like I was laughing because it was like, Bill, what were you gonna do? What exactly were you gonna do? Okay, so even if you had gotten all the way to Renee's throat, what was you gonna do with it? Nothing, because you had to turn into a pile of ash. Like I'm just like, oh my god, like you're about to die. But then we have good old boy Sam, who actually helps Bill in his time of need and kind of buries him so he'll be okay. And I'm like, you know what? Bill is really a stand-up guy.
He is, but he's stupid too. He another stupid one. Like I don't know. It was just
the gaggle idiots.
It was a good ending to the first season. It was a really good ending to the first season. But at the same time, all these motherfuckers are just stupid. It made the South look stupid.
Yeah, that's consistent. It's consistent.
I guess.
You know, like you said, it was a good ending to the first season because even with her figuring out who her attacker is and Sam being a good guy and making sure Bill didn't die, all those things, our favorite person comes up missing at the end of this season as well. So it was like a cliffhanger. We just see him going to take the trash out, and then you don't see a person who it is that's attacking him. You just know something happens to Lafayette at the end of episode 12, at the end of the season of season 1. So it's like, oh my goodness, I have to keep watching to see what is going on. You have Lafayette come up missing. You have a dead body being found in Detective Belfort's car. All of these things that happen at the end of season 1. So I thought it was a really good close to the season.
Nice ending for a season. And I don't know, it's been a while since I mentioned it, but that was supposed to have been the last time that we saw Lafayette on True Blood. But his character was so phenomenal that they decided to keep him. And that's just a testament to his acting in general.
I was here for it. I'm like, whoa, what is happening? But was definitely happy to see him show up again in season 2. Just like you said, major testament to how amazing his acting was for them to bring him back. I loved it. So, here I am, into season 1, still a fang banger. Let's go. Season 2, what you got for us?
Everyone will find out next week when we cover the first 3 episodes of season 2 of True Blood. Yes. Until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share.
And let us know if you're a fang banger.
Yeah. Have a good one. Bye.